My name is Adam Reichert. I am from St. Henry, Ohio, and I went to The Ohio State University. So I chose optometry in kind of a unique path. So I actually went to undergrad for engineering. Decided that wasn't necessarily for me, so I kind of took a step back and really wanted to look at some different healthcare careers, and then found optometry as well as the other medical careers, dentistry, things like that. I started actually by shadowing an optometrist and really dropped interest in anything else. It kind of caught my eye. I loved the way that the optometrists worked with the patients. They were able to develop that relationship with people over years and years of seeing them. It's a family career. You're able to kind of watch people grow up. And as a kid, I went to an optometrist to help me with vision therapy. I had some troubles in school reading and everything, and that kind of was also a reason as well. It kind of left an impact on me, so I wanted to be able to do that to other people as well. Vision therapy is definitely something I'm interested in doing. It's kind of where my interest in optometry started. It's also something I'm currently doing again. So we got our eye exam at school. They found kind of a little bit of what I went through when I was a kid, so we kind of started that back up at school. So I already have a lot of experience in it. It's really cool to see even where I've come as just over the last year as far as like my numbers and everything, and I would love to help young kids kind of get back on track, get reading the way they should, just different things like that. So my journey at SEO started with a fellow coworker of mine in Columbus, Ohio. So I went to school at Ohio State. He was going to be enrolling here at SEO the next year, so that was kind of on my radar from there. They actually came and spoke to our pre-optometry club, so from that point forward I was like, okay, I'm gonna apply. And then I applied, and from that moment I applied on, SEO did such a great job recruiting students. They really made me feel like SEO wanted me to come. And then when I came for the interview, it was the exact same way. I felt like the admissions committee at SEO, they wanted me to be there, and I felt that at like a deep level. So kind of fell in love with the school. The interview went really well. The clinics are incredible. The buildings are incredible. So that's kind of my pathway to SEO. I ended up choosing them over two other schools that I interviewed at. It just felt like home to me. A scholarship did play a role in me choosing SEO. It wasn't really the determining factor. It was very nice, very generous. It was kind of like the icing on the cake more so, but everything else that I loved about SEO kind of trumped the scholarship. The scholarship was just kind of the final piece of the puzzle. SEO has blown my expectations away. I knew I would love optometry school, but really everything about the faculty, everything about the student body, it just feels like home to me. Going from undergraduate to graduate school, it is a big jump, but I felt like it was easy to do at SEO because there's resources for everything if you need them. So moving from Ohio to Memphis it is a far way away from home, but I felt like this is home now. So SEO is where I was meant to be. So Memphis has kind of grown on me. I was a little bit nervous moving from the north. It's just a different city than the northern cities. I grew up in a really rural town, so 2,500 people is the town I grew up in. I moved to Columbus, Ohio, which is my first city living experience, and then I moved down to Memphis. Well, Memphis is a whole lot different than Columbus, but it's one of those cities that you come down, you're a little apprehensive at first, but really you kind of melt into the city and begin to love it, and they take you in with open arms, and it's just the history of the city, the diversity, everything about Memphis is just very interesting and very, very neat to me. It's become home once again. I love SEO. I love Memphis. I love the city, and yeah. So there's a lot of things that me and my wife like to do in Memphis. We love to go on walks. So Shelby Farms is a big one. We like to go on bike rides. So the Green Line, we have the river bike path, the big river crossing, things like that are very interesting to us. We also love to go to different restaurants. I'm a big barbecue fan, so just all the big barbecue restaurants around, Barbecue Shop, Central Barbecue, etc., Rendezvous. We love to try those out as well. So we moved to Memphis about a week and a half after we got married. So we had a lot going on. There's the first time we had lived together in a new city, 9 hours away from home. So it was an adjustment for both of us living here and being far away. She's a very family-oriented person, so just moving 9 hours away from her family was very difficult for her, but having each other has made it much easier for both of us. There's plenty of students that are married, so it wasn't like I was jumping into something that nobody else belonged in that club. I have plenty of people who are married as well, having kids. different things like that. SEO is really welcoming to that. So I think SEO does an incredible job preparing us for the future, including boards, getting into the clinic, things like that. The faculty here are incredible. They're all optometrists, so they've all been through it as well. They know what we as students need to know in order to be prepared for the clinic, prepared for getting into and passing national boards. I think the numbers kind of speak for themselves. The board's passing rates are extremely high. They're kind of in the top tier of optometry schools. So I would say between the curriculum, the faculty, and everything, they really do a great job of getting you ready for those tests. But also the clinic here in Memphis, we see an incredible patient base. So it really gets you prepared for out of school practice. You'll see just about everything here in the clinic that you would ever encounter, in regular practice. So I really believe by the time we graduate, SEO will have us as prepared as we will ever need to be to head into practice. I know through the clinical experience at the SEO clinic itself, we'll rotate through all different kind of stages of the clinic. They have peds, they have vision therapy, they have ocular disease, just different subsections of the clinic itself. So we'll see almost everything we would ever need to see before we get out into practice. And that will kind of also prepare us if we ever are interested in doing something specific in practice, say vision therapy, or really focusing in disease, or working with the geriatric population, things like that. SEO is going to do a really good job of preparing us to practice on day one. So I really feel like I've grown a lot as far as, in my pathway to becoming, a graduate student. It's learning how to work with people, working in the clinical skills labs, things like that. They've all kind of helped me kind of grow through my first year, and I'm going to take that into second year and third year and continue to kind of evolve as a student. I am pretty involved as far as clubs go in intramural sports. As far as clubs go, SEO has clubs for just about any interest in optometry. Contact lenses, vision therapy, they have ocular disease clubs, they have different regional clubs. So I'm a part of the Midwest Club, being from Ohio. So it's really interesting to learn and hear from professionals out there, doing the work, mentors that we can reach out to after graduation, making connections. It's just those clubs are invaluable for that. So SEO does a great job pulling students in from all over the country. I have friends from Kansas, from North Carolina. I'm from Ohio. I have friends from California, Washington, Oregon, things like that, all within our class. And it's just really cool to kind of see everyone come together and make friends with people from all over the country and kind of hear their experiences as well. So SEO has a student network that is very large. That's invaluable all over the country. I know when I go back to Ohio, there's people practicing in Ohio, Indiana, all the neighboring states around. So I'll always have people to talk to, and that alumni network is very large. So it's very useful for us students as well. I would say my favorite thing about SEO is just that family feel that you get every time you walk onto campus. Somebody says hi to you as you walk in the door. It truly is a family. We say that quite often throughout, schooling, the faculty, the president. We're always talking about that family feel, but it really is true. SEO is a family, and I felt that from day one at the interview. I feel that now after year one. So it's continuous and it's great.